Hello and welcome. We appreciate the time that you're taking to view this. My name is Kerry Wilson, and I'm a founding partner and a managing director at RealTerm Energy. And we'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about an exciting way that you can begin to transform your city into a smart city without spending any municipal funds or taking on any debt, and how this can help accelerate your recovery from the challenging times that so many communities that we work with are facing. So who is RealTerm Energy? We're a North American LED, smart control, and smart city leader. And since 2013, we've upgraded over 300 municipal and utility clients, covering more than 350,000 lights and controls. We operate in 10 US states and 3 Canadian provinces, and we're a recognized market leader with an excellent reputation, a trusted advisor to staff, councils, and utilities, and we're dedicated to raising the bar in the industry. And we were recently acknowledged by the World Bank as among the best practice service providers in the world. So here's a quick overview of what we're going to cover together. If you own your streetlights and you haven't yet upgraded them, you're actually sitting on a valuable asset that can be unlocked to generate not just better lighting, but substantial savings that can be used to lay the foundation of becoming a smart city. And that's important because as cities work through these difficult times, it's the smart cities that will recover faster. And this can actually be achieved without using any city funds or taking on any municipal debt. And here's how. First, your old streetlights are replaced with new energy-efficient LEDs, each equipped with a smart control, which wirelessly connects to a central server to allow you to set more efficient lighting levels, but also forms the communications network that connects many of the sensors of a smart city, resulting in a smart LED network. And aside from the significant energy savings, the additional maintenance savings results in a very short payback, which would normally justify proceeding with the project. But we understand these are not normal circumstances, and that budgetary restrictions are postponing many of the projects. However, these substantial savings, including adding smart city devices to the smart controls, plus the low interest rate environment, now combine to make this project cash flow positive. Through what's called an energy performance contract, RealTerm Energy can finance the project without any funds from the city. They're repaid solely from the energy and maintenance savings. And by upgrading and adding a number of smart sensors, you can lay the foundation for a smart city and become a leading community in the region, which will help attract new employment opportunities and help with a faster recovery. So let's take a few minutes to show you how unlocking the value of this redundant asset can help you today and lay the foundation towards becoming a smart city. So what is a smart city? Well, frankly, there's a lot of definitions out there. But one we like is that a smart city is a municipality that uses information and communication technologies to increase operational efficiency, to share information with the public, and improve both the quality of government services and citizen welfare. Further, it optimizes a city functions and drives economic growth while improving the quality of life for its citizens using smart technology and data analysis. Some of you may be asking, is this really the time to be talking about smart cities? We absolutely believe the answer is yes. But first, we appreciate that you're dealing with many simultaneous and unforeseen problems that none of us thought we'd be facing only a few months ago. And while they're temporary, believe me, we get it. We know that they're urgent. But we should all still be planning for our recoveries. Because now, despite the problems and issues facing us today, now is the time to lay the foundation for a more prosperous future. Obviously, of all the problems you're dealing with, the health and welfare of your citizens has to be your greatest concern. Watching images like these on the evening news week after week, it's only natural that people are anxious, unsure of the future, and they look to their local government for answers, for guidance, and leadership. Aside from the health of your citizens, the health of all of our communities is suffering greatly. Local businesses are facing hardships that no one could have predicted, let alone prepare for. And on top of record unemployment, as business activity has declined for every city, the corresponding loss in vital tax revenues and likely increases in operating costs means that some very tough choices are on the horizon. Of course, the social unrest and widespread protests that are occurring almost everywhere for some involves dealing with violence or personal injury or the destruction of property. But for many cities, this is likely going to have a profound effect on future budgets. And as cities try to plan for their futures, the combined effects of severe and potentially long-lasting declines in city revenues and those increased operating expenses makes it almost impossible to think of funding any capital projects that don't immediately address the current reality. We've worked with hundreds of cities, large and small, so we're aware that these decisions are not going to be easy. But it's only natural that some will say, well, with all that's going on, spending money on becoming a smart city just isn't a priority right now. And believe me, we understand that. But actually, you're already spending the money. You're spending it every night, but don't have anything to show for it. We can help you, because now is the time to lay the foundation for the future, because it's the smart cities that will recover faster, better, and smarter. As we plan ahead, whatever the near term holds, economic recovery will favor the smart city. Several studies have recently emerged dealing with how smart cities will fare better than others in the months and years to come. One, entitled Smart City Priority Areas, published by the Information and Communications Technology Council, states that a smart city, with its increased connectivity and data availability, will actually help bolster economic growth. It goes on to say that becoming a smart city sooner will also open up new avenues for employment, including lower-skilled or low-tech occupations that can have a tremendous impact on our futures and the overall quality of life. New opportunities for growth in job creation will likely arise from the digital economy more than manufacturing. And the platform upon which to build a smart city, well, it actually already exists. It's your street lighting network. A final conclusion is that streetlight networks provide one of the most equitable and cost-effective means of deploying this technology. And upgrading and transforming this asset now can help accelerate your city's path towards its economic recovery. So how exactly do your streetlights fit in? Well, they're on the books as an asset, but in practice they behave a lot more like a liability, meaning you pay for your electricity costs and you pay for your maintenance costs. And if it's time to upgrade, you have to find the funds for that. But what if you could leverage this redundant asset into a smart city LED network paid for solely from the energy and maintenance savings? This is done by what's called an energy performance contract. So let's look at how we can transform this liability disguised as an asset and show you how your streetlight network can be leveraged to your advantage without any additional spending. First, the efficiency of LED technology today can result in significant energy consumption savings, usually around 70%. Next, because of the solid-state technology of LEDs and their 20-year lifespan, your current maintenance budget will be dramatically reduced. Adding smart controls not only gives you the communications network that drives a smart city, but can help provide even greater savings and asset management capabilities. The total of these savings today is often enough to create the funds that will repay the capital costs of the project without additional civic capital being required. The energy performance contract enables a city to lay the foundation to become a smart city using only these savings to pay for the project. Again, by doing nothing, you're already spending this money every night. But by upgrading to a smart LED city, you'll be spending the same amount of money, but now with significant benefits that will help you recover faster. Additionally, leveraging your existing lighting assets to transform to a smart city can offer other immediate benefits to help solve other important but less urgent challenges. Things like improving digital equity and providing for safer, more secure communities. Aside from the temporary, though urgent problems raised earlier, there are other systemic problems that becoming a smart city can address right away. One of them stems from the very nature of how work is changing. Many of us, of course, are working from home now, and for some this may be a permanent adjustment. In July, Google announced that its global workforce of 120,000 employees will not be required to return to work until mid-summer 2021. Other global leading companies like Facebook, Slack, and others are following suit. This is causing widespread changes to how work is performed, by whom and from where. And as the infrastructure matures to accommodate home workers, for example with new telecommuting technology, the requirement for business travel is being redefined, and for many companies may even disappear. Education is transforming as well. We're all familiar with in-home learning, but now we're seeing a number of colleges and universities exploring allowing students to get their complete degrees online without having to incur the travel and residency expenses of moving to a physical campus. And this is a positive development because it could make colleges far more affordable by cutting these significant expenses. All this means a much greater reliance upon connectivity, and yet, for 30 million Americans, they'll be left behind because they do not have high-speed broadband internet at home. To connect to the internet, they have to go to a public Wi-Fi location like a coffee shop or a public library. And it's not just the rural areas that are affected. Many cities don't offer the connection speeds to actually make a difference, while whole regions of the country have no coverage at all. This is the digital divide, and it's leaving literally millions behind. By becoming a smart city, this is something that you can actually address now, and you can help enable all of your constituents to take part in the future. Another problem that smart city evolution can help alleviate is the impact upon crime, as funds from traditional policing get reallocated. Studies now show that by converting the lighting system to LED, there is a significant drop in crime levels, which will certainly help bridge the gap as policing budgets get reduced. Additionally, by adding smart cameras to your city planners can benefit from data analytics to help plan better, and law enforcement can still have eyes and ears throughout the city, but without the manpower requirement, resulting in safer communities despite budget restrictions. So let's have a look at a practical example of how using these savings can lay the foundation of a smart city today. Of course, we begin with replacing your old streetlights with LEDs, and each would be equipped with a smart controller instead of a traditional photocell. Then, we optimize the lighting designs to make sure that we can maximize the savings to be able to include as many smart devices as possible, many of which will actually connect through the control nodes. For example, devices like Wi-Fi repeaters, which can extend Wi-Fi access into the more remote areas, facilitating in-home working and online studying that can help bridge that digital divide. Another example would be smart cameras that can help with both surveillance and provide the essential data analytics for planning purposes. Noise detectors can also be included, which can identify an event that requires an investigation by law enforcement, resulting in safer communities. EVs charging stations can be added to assist with the growth of electric vehicles, and the streetlight control nodes can assist with the communication requirements of smart transit vehicles that can help minimize rush hour delays. The net result can also make a substantial environmental impact by cutting your greenhouse gas emissions. And these are just a few of the examples of the variety of city devices and capabilities that will form and help attract new employment opportunities to an integrated, connected, and safer city, which will speed up its recovery in the near future. It all functions with the help of these control nodes, acting as the backhaul for the communications network of virtually all smart devices, becoming the foundation of a smart city's infrastructure. But it all starts with generating the savings due to LED lighting, adding smart controls, and optimizing the lighting design to maximize these energy savings. So how does the contract actually work? Well, first we collect your energy bills and your maintenance records for the past several years to establish the baseline. This is what you're currently spending on your street lighting network. Next, we begin an investment-grade audit, starting with a GIS survey of each light in the network to true up the database to enable our lighting designers to provide unique designs that can optimize the savings potential and identify the proper LED replacements and smart control locations to be deployed. Working with the existing utilities tariff, we can then project the precise savings that the project will generate. From here, we can examine which smart city devices and sensors you may wish to include in the project and the cost. Once agreed, we begin the installation phase, and once commissioned, all of the project costs are repaid by the energy and maintenance savings, with RealTerm Energy conducting the maintenance on your behalf. At the end of the term, all project costs have been repaid, and operations return to the city with 100% of those savings now accruing to you, and your future lighting costs will drop substantially. So you see, by postponing this upgrade, you'll keep spending the same money as you were before, wasting it on an outdated and inefficient lighting system, and you won't derive any of the many benefits of being a smart city. This is of course made possible by the significant savings arising from the LED lights, the lower maintenance costs, and the addition of smart controls. However, as bad as this pandemic has been on the economy, we should take full advantage of a significant benefit we get from the current interest rate environment. The treasury rate, upon which banks add the required spread to determine the overall financing rate, is at its lowest point in history, so that the cost to finance the project is also lower than at any other time. So you see, Despite all of the bad news out there, all of these factors actually combine in your city's favor, and we can help you to take full advantage of the situation to help you recover faster and smarter into the future. There is an important qualification, however. You can't always get what you want, but we can help you to choose what you need. Obviously, for all this to work, certain trade-offs have to get made. Again, first we establish the energy and maintenance savings from the smart controls, and using the tariff, outline exactly what the project savings are going to be. Second, the interest rate will be determined solely by your municipal credit rating and the cost that the lenders add to that based on the treasury rate. That becomes the financing rate. Please note that RealTerm Energy does not add any spread to the debt. Third, we'll help you select the type and number of smart city sensors you wish to deploy. But here's where the balancing act comes in. We have to balance the project savings with the total cost of the devices you may wish to deploy. So we'll conduct with you a financial analysis to help eliminate those that you don't want to put into the project and those that you do. And once those are folded into the overall project cost, that enables us to determine exactly what the duration of the energy performance contract will be. So you can see that it is possible to lay the foundation for your city's recovery and do it today using money that you're already spending, just reallocate it to a better use. This can help with some of the problems that you currently have and accelerate a return to a healthy and a strong community. A few final thoughts. Yes, you do get to keep your streetlight assets. You're simply leveraging a redundant asset and the savings pay for the project. You're actually already spending the very money that can be used to become a smart city. All this can be done without taking on any municipal debt, at interest rates and financing costs that will likely never be lower. You'll get better, controllable, and more energy efficient lighting and safer streets. And the data that a smart city can collect can help you to make better decisions about where best to spend your scarce resources. Extending Wi-Fi into the more remote communities will allow everyone to participate in the new opportunities and accelerate economic growth. This project will provide for local jobs, and you'll be cutting your greenhouse gas emissions substantially, so that acting now can actually help your community to recover faster. With everything else that your council and staff have to deal with these days, we hope that we've actually given you some good news to think about. And we're sure that you probably have lots of questions. But if you own your streetlights and you haven't yet upgraded to LEDs, our energy performance contract really can help you to deal with some of today's problems, but more importantly, lay the foundation for a more vital, inclusive, and prosperous community. So we recommend the following next steps. First, think about it. And as you do, think about all the money that you're already spending every night that could be put to a far better use. Second, talk it over amongst yourselves. And we think that you'll agree that now is the ideal time to start transforming your city into a smart city as part of a plan for a faster recovery. And third, talk to us. At RealTerm Energy, we are a dedicated group of professionals that believe that by working together, we can make a real difference to the communities that we serve. Again, we really appreciate the time that you've taken to hear this presentation. RealTerm Energy is a pioneer in energy performance contracting, and we've helped finance many cities to upgrade their lighting systems and now apply the same dedication and expertise to helping communities like yours to become smart cities. You can learn a lot more about us by visiting our website at realtermenergy.com, and if you want to talk to us directly, please email us at info@realtermenergy.com. On behalf of the entire team at RealTerm, we thank you, and we look forward to helping you to become a smart city.